Ladies and gentlemen, success doesn't come overnight. It doesn't happen by accident. Just like any worthy pursuit, it requires daily failure, commitment, and sometimes sacrifice. Now, when we talk about success in relationships, we're talking about building something strong, something lasting, something real. Success in love isn't a destination, it's a journey. And if you make the right choices every day, you'll find yourself not just in a relationship, but in a partnership that stands the test of time. Success in any aspect of life requires consistent effort. But when it comes to relationships, consistency is the true foundation. Too often, we focus on the grand gestures, the big romantic dinners, the thoughtful surprises, the anniversaries, and milestones. While these moments matter, it is the daily actions, the small but deliberate choices that truly define the strength and longevity of a relationship. Think about it. Every single day, you have the chance to either build trust or erode it. Trust is not something that can be established in a single conversation or a one-time action. It is something that is built over time, piece by piece, day after day. And this is where consistency comes into play. Trust is built through the small, everyday actions that show your partner that you are reliable, dependable, and genuinely invested in their well-being. For instance, how do you act when your partner needs you most? Do you show up even when it's inconvenient? Do you make the effort to check in, to ask about their day, to show interest in what's going on in their life? These may seem like simple actions, but they are the lifeblood of a relationship. It's easy to be there for someone when everything is going well, but it's consistency in the little things that shows your commitment during the challenging times. When you consistently show up for your partner, you prove to them that they matter regardless of the circumstances. Consistency also means being predictable in the sense that your partner knows what to expect from you, not because you are rigid, but because you are reliable. Relationships thrive on stability, and when both partners can rely on each other to be present, to be honest, and to show up in a loving way, it creates a sense of security. This security is crucial because it allows both individuals to be vulnerable, to express themselves openly without fear of judgment or rejection. When consistency is in place, it creates an environment where both people feel safe to be themselves, knowing they won't be let down. It's not just about the positive actions you take either. Consistency in dealing with conflict is just as important. Every relationship will face challenges, but it's how you approach these challenges that defines the relationship's strength. Are you consistently willing to listen, to understand, and to compromise when issues arise? Do you take the time to work through disagreements in a healthy, respectful manner? Or do you sweep things under the rug, letting resentment fester? Handling conflict with maturity and patience is also a sign of consistency. The way you handle the tough moments will either deepen the bond or widen the divide between you and your partner. Relationships that endure the test of time aren't those that avoid conflict. They are the ones where both people commit to resolving issues in a consistent, thoughtful way. Another aspect of consistency is the ongoing nurturing of the emotional connection. Relationships need attention, just like a plant needs water to grow. Neglecting this connection can cause it to wither, even if the love was strong at the start. Every day offers an opportunity to show affection, appreciation, and love in small, meaningful ways. This could be a word of encouragement when your partner is feeling down, a simple "I love you" in passing, or even a gesture as simple as making them a cup of coffee in the morning. These acts, though small, convey that you are thinking about them, that you care, and that you are present in their life. Over time, these small acts of love accumulate and form a strong emotional bond, making the relationship resilient to outside stresses. In relationships, consistency also means committing to personal growth, even if it's just a little bit each day. If you're both continuously improving, individually and together, your relationship grows stronger. Consistent efforts to better yourself, to be more understanding, to communicate better, to be more patient. These efforts don't go unnoticed. Your partner sees your dedication to becoming a better person, and in turn, they will likely feel motivated to do the same. Consistency in a relationship is the glue that holds everything together. It's the subtle, everyday actions that allow a relationship to evolve from just two people coexisting to a dynamic, thriving partnership. Communication is often regarded as the backbone of any successful relationship, and rightfully so. Without it, understanding and connection cannot flourish. But when we talk about communication in the context of relationships, it's not just about talking. It's about truly listening, engaging with empathy, and making a conscious effort to understand what your partner is experiencing, feeling, and thinking. Effective communication goes beyond words. It encompasses tone, body language, and the silent cues that speak volumes. At the core of communication in relationships is listening. Not just hearing, but listening with the intent to understand. How often do we listen to respond rather than to understand? It's easy to get caught up in waiting for our turn to speak, especially during a disagreement, when emotions are high or when we're feeling defensive. But real communication begins when we step back and focus on the other person's point of view. We must listen with an open heart, without judgment or interruption, allowing our partner the space to express themselves fully. By doing so, we not only show respect for their feelings, but also create a deeper emotional connection. One of the most powerful aspects of listening is validation. When your partner shares something with you, whether it's a triumph or a struggle, what they need most is to feel heard and validated. This doesn't mean you always have to agree with them or fix their problems. Sometimes the most powerful response you can offer is simply acknowledging their feelings, saying, "I understand why you feel that way," or "That sounds really tough." In doing so, you create a safe space for open dialogue, where both partners feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and emotions without fear of dismissal or judgment. This simple act of validation can strengthen the bond and encourage more honest, transparent conversations.
But communication doesn't end with listening, it extends to how we express ourselves. In relationships, clarity is essential. We all have different ways of interpreting words, so it's vital to be clear and direct about our thoughts and emotions. Misunderstandings often arise not from a lack of communication but from vague or unclear messages. If something is bothering you, say it directly and calmly without assuming your partner knows what you need. Likewise, when you share something important, ensure you express it in a way that your partner can understand both emotionally and rationally. This doesn't mean being blunt or harsh, it means being mindful of your words, ensuring that they are constructive and not hurtful.
Another key component of effective communication is nonverbal cues. Body language, facial expressions, and even the tone of our voice can communicate volumes, sometimes more than our words ever could. Pay attention to your partner's body language, as it can often reveal underlying emotions they may not be expressing verbally. Are they crossing their arms or avoiding eye contact? Are they tense or relaxed? These are all signs that provide valuable insight into how they are feeling. At the same time, be mindful of your own nonverbal communication. When you're upset or frustrated, your tone, posture, or the way you speak can convey more than just the message you're trying to communicate. Being conscious of your own body language can help prevent unnecessary conflict and misinterpretation. The true power of communication in relationships lies in its ability to foster understanding, empathy, and connection. When both partners are committed to speaking openly, honestly, and with respect, the relationship becomes a platform for growth, both individually and together. Communication isn't just about exchanging words, it's about building bridges that allow both people to understand and support one another on a deeper level. When you communicate openly, you invite your partner into your world, showing them who you are, what you need, and how you feel. In return, you offer the same opportunity for them. This creates a partnership rooted in mutual respect, empathy, and shared understanding. Communication is a two-way street. It's not enough for only one person to be putting in the effort. Both partners must be willing to engage in honest, open conversations, especially when it's difficult. Sometimes it requires vulnerability, being willing to share fears, insecurities, and desires that we might typically keep hidden. And this vulnerability is not a weakness. Rather, it is a strength that deepens emotional intimacy and allows both individuals to show up fully in the relationship. Strong communication is not about always having the right answers or knowing exactly what to say. It's about creating a space where both individuals feel heard, respected, and understood. It's about being present for each other, not just in the good times, but also when things get tough. The ability to communicate with empathy and clarity is what makes relationships resilient, capable of weathering any storm and emerging stronger on the other side. Success in a relationship is not only measured by how well two people interact with each other, but also by how much both individuals grow, both together and apart. Personal growth within the context of a relationship is a powerful dynamic that often goes overlooked, yet it is vital for long-term success. A thriving relationship is built on two individuals who are committed to bettering themselves, not just for each other, but for themselves. The healthiest relationships are not those where both people completely merge their identities, but where they encourage and support each other in becoming the best versions of themselves. In the beginning stages of a relationship, the focus is often on emotional connection and shared experiences. These are the exciting moments of getting to know one another, falling in love, and discovering common interests. However, as time progresses, the foundation of the relationship deepens when both individuals commit to their personal growth. It's easy to assume that love alone is enough to carry a relationship through all the challenges that life throws at it. But in reality, it's the growth that both partners experience separately and together that strengthens the bond. Personal growth means that both partners have individual goals, dreams, and passions that they pursue outside of the relationship. A healthy relationship isn't one where a partner becomes entirely dependent on the other for their happiness, fulfillment, or sense of purpose. Instead, both people must have their own sense of self and identity, supported by their relationship, but not defined by it. When both individuals are continuously striving to better themselves, whether it's in their careers, their health, or their personal development, the relationship becomes a space where both can flourish independently. This creates a balance where each person brings their unique strengths and experiences into the partnership rather than relying solely on the other for validation or direction. Supporting each other's growth means encouraging your partner to pursue their dreams, passions, and ambitions. This isn't just about being supportive when things are easy, it's about standing by each other when the journey gets tough. A thriving relationship is one where both individuals feel free to pursue their own paths, knowing that the other will be there to cheer them on and offer a hand when needed. This level of mutual support fosters a sense of security and trust, where both partners feel empowered to reach for more without the fear of judgment or discouragement. However, it's not just about external pursuits like careers or hobbies. Personal growth within a relationship also involves emotional development. Each partner needs to be committed to understanding themselves better, managing their emotions, and being self-aware. Relationships can only be as healthy as the individuals within them. If one or both people are emotionally stagnant, it can lead to frustration, miscommunication, and even resentment. It's essential for each person to take responsibility for their emotional well-being and work on becoming the best version of themselves, emotionally and mentally.
What's even more powerful is when both partners grow together as a team. When both individuals are focused on personal growth, they can also support each other in their shared journey.
In a relationship, personal growth isn't about changing the other person to fit a mold or expectation. It's about encouraging each other to grow in ways that bring out the best in both individuals. A successful relationship thrives when both people are committed to becoming better versions of themselves, while maintaining a supportive, loving partnership. By growing together and individually, a relationship becomes a partnership that isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving, evolving, and becoming more than the sum of its parts. In any healthy relationship, finding balance and respecting boundaries is essential for long-term success. Relationships are not about two people constantly merging into one, losing their individuality in the process, but rather about two distinct individuals who come together to share their lives while maintaining a sense of self. Understanding the importance of balance in your relationship, whether it's balancing personal space with togetherness or personal needs with shared goals, ensures that both partners can thrive not just as a couple, but also as individuals. It's easy to become enmeshed with your partner, particularly in the early stages of a relationship when everything feels new and exciting. You want to spend as much time as possible together, and it's tempting to let the boundaries between your own needs and your partner's needs blur. However, as time goes on, it's essential to maintain a healthy degree of independence. Both partners need to continue pursuing their individual passions and maintaining their personal relationships outside of the romantic one. By doing so, you each create space to grow and evolve without relying solely on the other person for validation or fulfillment. Boundaries are just as crucial in a relationship as balance. Setting and respecting boundaries ensures that both partners feel safe, respected, and valued. Boundaries aren't about keeping secrets or building walls. They are about maintaining a healthy sense of self and mutual respect within the relationship. Boundaries can take many forms: emotional, physical, or even intellectual. For instance, emotional boundaries might involve recognizing when you need time to process your own feelings or when you need to recharge rather than immediately responding to a situation. Physical boundaries may involve respecting personal space or having designated time apart for each partner's activities or interests. Intellectual boundaries could include respecting each other's opinions, even when you disagree, without forcing the other person to change their views. Respecting these boundaries isn't about building distance. It's about creating a stronger, more secure connection. When each partner feels that their boundaries are respected, it fosters a deeper sense of trust and appreciation. Boundaries also prevent one partner from feeling overwhelmed, smothered, or neglected, which can lead to emotional burnout or resentment over time. Healthy boundaries allow both individuals to feel like they have the freedom to be themselves, while also sharing their lives with someone else. Another aspect of balance is the balance of effort in a relationship. Relationships require work from both sides. The most successful relationships are those where both partners are equally invested in nurturing the connection. This means making the effort to listen, communicate, support, and love, even on days when it feels difficult. However, it's crucial to ensure that the effort is balanced. One partner shouldn't be shouldering the emotional or logistical load while the other remains passive. Both people need to show up and contribute, not just in the moments that are convenient, but especially in the times when it's challenging. The balance of effort isn't about keeping score, it's about creating an equal partnership where both individuals are equally invested in making the relationship work. In a world that often emphasizes the need for constant togetherness, it's essential to recognize the importance of balance in relationships. Balancing time together with time apart, emotional dependence with emotional independence, and personal growth with shared growth creates a relationship that is strong, resilient, and sustainable. Respecting boundaries and ensuring that both partners feel valued, respected, and heard allows for a deeper, more fulfilling connection. When the balance is right, both individuals in the relationship feel supported, loved, and free to be their authentic selves, ensuring that the bond between them remains unshakable, no matter what challenges life may throw their way. A successful and enduring relationship is built on several core principles: consistency, communication, personal growth, and balance. These elements are not standalone. They work together to create a partnership that thrives and evolves over time. A relationship that incorporates these elements doesn't just survive, it thrives. It becomes a space where both partners feel empowered, understood, and encouraged to become the best versions of themselves. It's not about perfection, but about commitment. Commitment to showing up, to communicating openly, to supporting each other, and to growing together. Relationships are not easy, but when built on these principles, they can withstand the challenges life brings. With consistency, open communication, mutual growth, and a healthy respect for balance and boundaries, a relationship becomes a lasting partnership, one that continues to evolve, deepen, and flourish over time.